everyone. I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today's topic is a little different of a post, but I'm calling this calling all fact checkers and scandal of the year. So let me just proceed forward here. All right, the U.S. election has been very trying for people. I do realize this topic is very low vibe. However, it's concerning too, as this is our lives that we're talking about, and it's the lives of our children. So I wanted to do a little bit different of a post. I promise to get back to my more normal content. This is super low vibe for me too, and I need to get myself out of it. But I think it's so important to share information, and just things are so strange right now. All the media, it seems to be filtering what's going on, and it's difficult to even get information or to even feel like you can find someone else to relate to that just is so disturbed by everything going on as much as possibly what you are, and definitely as much as what I am. We're only given what they want us to hear, and something is very, very off. Most conservative people would accept a win or a loss if it was done in a fair and just way. If it was fair, I could take it. If everything was equal, I could take it. Something is just really wrong here. And I have a few sources cited. If you go to my blog itself, it's on the blog. If you're watching my YouTube, it'll be in the top comment of my YouTube for as long as everything stays active as far as the links go. And fact checkers out there, I encourage you to look this over, give your thoughts, and share your findings too. And for those of you who are looking at my blog, if you click on each individual image, it'll bring it up larger if you're having a hard time reading it. So I do want to acknowledge that as well. So having said all that, the synopsis of what events have played out, and this is based on a reading that I released yesterday as a result of November 3rd. And I stand by this, that Trump was winning by a landslide. The powers that were completely freaked out, so they knew that they had to implement their backup plan. The media, they were ordered to halt all the reporting while the backup plan was implemented, so they did not want any more states to do a win for Trump because they had to have something in reserve in order to shift things up because they wanted to solidify their win. So cue the false mail-in ballots. They were intermingled into the districts that were still open, and the focus of the fraud was in the larger cities with the larger voter base. And how many times did they reiterate that most times the mail-in votes leaned to the Democratic side? It's like they wanted to plant that concept in our subconscious. Why did they need to do that? Why did they have to keep saying that? I also got that the numbers were going to be kept close to make it look plausible. Notice there's like a 1 point spread, half a point spread. That's not really typical. It wasn't really that neck and neck. So, moving forward, things that make you go, because it's just, you can't help but shake your head when you get this information. In Michigan, over 100,000 votes appeared, and all the votes went to Biden. No more for Trump or for any other person in the ballot. Again, I have the documentation posted up on the blog, and I'll throw it up on the video as well. So think about this. Even, if you're going to cheat, if a kid cheats in school, do you get 100% on the test? No, you throw an answer or two. They didn't. They took all the votes, applied them all to one person, and somehow thought people wouldn't pick up on it. Wisconsin had mystery votes emerge in the wee hours of the morning on November 4th, taking away Trump's lead. People living in North Carolina said 100% of the votes were in and already tabulated based on their own information of their website. Trump won by 50,000 votes at the time the polls closed, but the media would not call it when all the votes were in. Why? They had to do whatever fancy math they had. Wisconsin has a 2020, and I confirmed the year for this, voter base of 3,129,000, but over 3,239,977 votes were cast. Where did 100,000 people emerge from? One person alone has discovered a database, and I put them up into the top part where I gave my links that showed dead people are voting in Michigan. How many more are there? She typed in a person born in 1900, and based on that information, they'd be like 120 years old. So stuff is really going on to make you question and realize things don't add up. They're putting it in our face and almost mocking us, showing us the ridiculousness of what is going on. So the real question, what do I see as we move forward? When I focus on what's to happen, I see this as the scandal of the year, maybe the decade, maybe of, I don't know if I want to say all time, that's a big stretch, but pretty big scandal. The Dems know that they were not going to allow Trump to win no matter what. They were not going to allow it. They tried to do this the honest way, but when it was clear that their hatred didn't spread the way they hoped, and they do foster hatred, they had to resort to fraud. They have had this plan from the beginning, but they didn't count on Trump plotting a way to counteract it. Whether people like Trump or not, he is a smart guy. He did not get where he is by being stupid. He knows how to surround himself with the right people, and he knows how to forecast things that can go wrong. He knew from the beginning that they would use mail-in voter fraud as a huge tool to get him out of office. So I get he put a plan in force to counteract it. I could not see this plan, but I knew it was going to end up in court, and I knew, again, and I keep saying it, that's why they needed Amy Barrett to be confirmed. I knew it would be in court. I wasn't sure the pathway, how it would go. Oddly, and this was so strange, someone sent a comment that the ballots were unique with either the material they were made from, ink, or a watermark to prove they were valid, kind of like our currency. You can't just copy it. It has to be authentic from the government. At first, I wasn't sure how I felt about that, but I've had similar comments cross my path to where I had to really think on it. The universe puts stuff in our path, and in this situation, I needed to pay attention after, and a lot of thinking. I've thought about this a lot. I do get there is something to this. I even kept flashing this comment he made late at night on election day stating he won. And remember how they all ragged on him and said that how he should not have announced that he won and he shouldn't have made those type of comments. And that stuck with me, and I watched him say it, and I realized something was really odd about it. And he was thanking everybody that was involved, and Melania and Mike Pence and his wife and all these people. And he made this off comment that he didn't know why states that he clearly won in, and he was rattling off numbers, weren't being called. And he even said, I don't want to see miscellaneous votes show up at 4 a.m. He stated that in that speech. And so I flashed to that, and I thought, this is, how am I feeling about this? What is my intuition telling me? And I get that this comment was directed toward those involved in this plan. This was their chance to cease what it was that was happening, and a warning that he was onto their plan. He also started multiple court cases for those states or counties that decided to be dishonest. The states that he still had a chance in, they started to go in stall mode, and they were scared as to how to proceed because they didn't want to get caught. Think of the trouble you get in if you get caught doing this. They're even pondering allowing him to have the remaining states so he can win and hope this is going to go away. And this is still to be determined. I get this is still up in the air as to how they're going to proceed or spin this or what will happen when they're really caught. But then I thought, how are they going to catch these people? I do get these ballots are marked, and you have to order ballots from the DHS that are marked with a special watermark. Since you cannot order thousands more ballots than registered voters, because what do? Oh yeah, I have 3 million voters, but I need 5 million ballots. That doesn't work that way. I get that they're going to be able to track the authenticity of certain ballots. You can't just make a Xerox copy of them. As the investigation occurs, they'll be able to see what is valid and who signed the form. Are they a real person? Are they deceased? Or are there multiples from the same person? What's going on here? So they'll be able to really get to the nitty-gritty of what is happening. I get this investigation is going to be huge, and it's going to forever change how elections are handled. Many complicit people are going to be taken down, and Trump won't go down without a fight. Ultimately, Trump looks to win, but this is going to be so ugly. And I feel like we're just in the beginning of something big to witness here. And that was all I have. Just hold tight, people. I know I'm struggling with this too. Patience is not always an easy thing for me, and so I'm trying to wait and weather this storm with everybody else. So I welcome your comments. Fact checkers, go out there, back me up, or give me your information, but cite your sources, because I do want us to compare information. Like I said, not the typical post. I realize this is really kind of a low vibe thing, but super influential and impacting our lives of where we are today. So I will leave you all with that. Again, I am Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.